Did you ever wonder why a good God would build a world where the only way to survive is by taking life? How long would you stay alive if you refused to eat? You may love animals and grow plants inside your home and flowers in your garden, but every time you eat, you destroy the life of something. A something with a consciousness that feels and desires to live as we do. Welcome to Shake You to Your Core, episode 3.5.
Shake you to your core.
What kind of God or gods would create a world predicated on killing? We don't like to ask that, and we find every excuse to avoid looking at this question. But every time a dear one dies, or you find a nibbled bird in the yard destroyed by an idle cat, or you read about an animal that has suffered mercilessly, or another molested child, or a nation ravaged by a quake that's buried thousands of living people, your mind goes back to that nagging question: who would make a world like this? Was it truly a God of love? The world has been created by a higher power, but has been tampered with by something so merciless and evil that the original purpose cannot be seen. Listen to this, my brothers and sisters. A battle has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and this battle is for the hearts and minds of humanity. This battle seeks to take over the will of all on this planet. We have all heard the stories of Satan versus God. But I say to you now, it's worse than that. It's so much more sinister. A deception so cruel and evil has been perpetrated on mankind that most cannot believe it when told. This is what those who have done want. They want humanity to remain as a mushroom, or to state it plainly, to be kept in the dark and fed bullshit. We are told in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. First off, this is not what the original text states. And let me say this also. This is not what happened. God did not make us this way. But there are certain things, certain beings who want us to believe this. These beings are of a higher order than us, and they want us calling them God and angels of God. But they are far from being God or angels. These beings are the ones who have committed this heinous crime against the whole human race. Let's go to the beginning as we understand the term beginning. After millions of years of directed evolution, our ancestors were visited by beings who saw the potential of early man. This potential was a sinister potential, the potential to become slaves and servants for them. These beings became known to us as the Elohim, or gods. They did not create us as we were told. What they did do was change and tamper with our DNA, our genetics. And by doing this, they made our intellect go higher so that we would be able to serve them better. They mixed their DNA with ours, and we became what we call modern man. We are hybrid mutations because of them, the Elohim. As hybrid mutations, we were unable to reproduce offspring, and this fits with the plans of these beings. They could easily manage us at low population levels. You see this even today with the Planned Parenthood organizations and others, even governments. For abortion is being pushed onto everyone. But let's call it what it is: infanticide, murder. We hear politicians claiming overpopulation every day. Even celebrities are calling for lower population. Nothing has changed. For as in Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9 tells us, what has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Now, let's look at the verse in the beginning. According to the Real History of Christianity blog entry by Jan Erik Sigdal, made on September 12, 2008, the first sentence in the Bible reads, Bereshit bara Elohim et ha-shamyim vet ha-arez. Translated from the original Hebrew as, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now, it has always been a problem swept under the carpet that Elohim is plural and literally means gods. Therefore, some want to understand it as, in the beginning, the gods created the heaven and the earth, which doesn't fit grammatically, since the verb bara is singular. However, the first word, berashit, can not only be translated as beginning, but also as the first one, the one who was in the beginning. Now we can correctly, no grammatical problem anymore, translate as the first one created the gods, the heavens and the earth. Shamajim is also plural and actually means heavens or other cosmic worlds. As you can see right from the first verse in the Bible, we are being lied to, deceived. This is a major warning for the so-called believers. How can you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us, when in fact, the deceitful pen of the scribe has made it into something that deceives? So we see that the Bible does speak of more than one God, yet it is also states that there was a first, and this first created the other gods, although they are lesser gods. It is these lesser gods, or Elohim, we need to focus on for the time being. For these lesser gods are the ones who tampered with our DNA to make us slaves. To focus properly on the lesser gods, we must go back to the Sumerian text, for this is where the Hebrew texts come from. In the Sumerian text, we have the Enuma Elish telling us that first there was Apsu and Tiamat, a divine prime creator pair who created all. They also created the Anunnaki, who became some kind of celestial rowdies and disturbed the order in the creation. Therefore, Apsu wanted to reverse their creation so that they should no more exist. Tiamat, however, opposed this, since they were her children. Ea, Enki, then killed Apsu, and later Marduk killed Tiamat, the original mother of all gods. This is a very sinister act, but in the text, Marduk is made a hero and Tiamat a monster. Obviously, this is a biased view that reverses the question of good and evil, as in the Gospel of Philip. But can you kill the prime creators? Of course not. The meaning of this can only be that the Anunnaki split off from them and wanted to be independent, as if they were dead. And to the Anunnaki, they became effectively dead. This again gives a negative impression of the Anunnaki. They, like Yahweh, wanted to be regarded as the real creators, and we should not know about those who created them. So, did the Anunnaki really create us? No. They modified life on our planet through genetic manipulation. There could very well have been earlier civilizations on Earth before that, which either disappeared or were also genetically manipulated for the control of the Earth. People should be kept in the dark, be unknowing, and not eat from the tree of knowledge. Earlier and higher developed civilizations wouldn't be tolerated anymore. When the Watchers, the sons of the Elohim, acted against the laws of the Anunnaki and brought new genes in the Earth population, a kind of compassionate development aid, if you will. They were punished, and the giants which were born out of it with qualities and capacities Earth people were not allowed to have, were not allowed to live, and were killed in the flood. Now we come to the so-called fall of man. The Bible tells us that man was able to eat from every tree in the garden except from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Do you believe this is an actual tree If you do, then you need to grow up. A snake appeared to Eve, who was not the first female, by the way. And this snake told Eve to eat off the tree. Who is this snake? The Hebrew word rendered serpent is nakash, from the root nakash, to shine, and means a shining one. So it is not an actual snake or serpent. This so-called serpent is our salvation. This serpent is Lucifer. You have to ask yourself, why would a God want to keep his creations from knowledge? As I said earlier, a mushroom. Mankind was not to know their origin, or that there is a supreme God, a prime creator, the divine grid programmer, who is both mother and father, or that we are in this prison. We weren't supposed to know that we're in this prison either. This is why knowledge was forbidden. Let's look at this deception of the false God more closely as we continue with Eve and the serpent. In doing this, the picture will become more and more clear to you, my dear esteemed viewer. You will see why the Gospel of Philip said that names had been changed. You will see who Lucifer truly is, as well as the identity of the true Satan, which has been kept hidden since the beginning. Namaste, namaskaram.